Well, hello and welcome to Between Plays, everybody. Are you still an NLC? Let me explain what I mean by that question. Does that even make sense? Look, NLC, Lithium, 650, hovering at 624, 626, 625. How much money are you going to really make on that difference when you could be using that money elsewhere and gain in other stocks? Because as you keep on waiting in NLC, Argentina Lithium is shooting up. Other lithium stocks are doing just as well. I wouldn't, basically, my opinion, of course, I'm not a financial advisor, you know that, but I play the market the way I want to play the market and the way I would teach my kids to play the market. And what I would tell them is I'd be like, listen, you got 25 cents, that's the most you can make there. Well, what? Okay, so somebody else might come around the corner potentially and maybe offer more money. Well, it sucks. It really does that they sold out, because for the last year I've been hearing about how 100% ownership and we own the company and take it to production, like we have enough money to do it on our own and all this kind of blah 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 blah. Okay, that's what it's all about in the end. It's blah blah blah. We made our money. You know what? We have to get over it. I was pissed off. Everybody was pissed off about the situation. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with keeping one share and voting no, right? So the thing is that the vote for no, I'm still for that. All right. Doesn't mean I have to keep 100% of the shares in there. I have to keep all my money inside there. The stock, if it goes up, let's say there's a bidding war, and someone else comes in. What, are we expecting that someone's going to bid $5 more? Hell, no one's going to do that. No one. Look at the whole thing with Millennial, all right? Cattle and Ganfeng. What, there was like a 30 cents difference or something, 35 cents difference. Even if you have 10,000 shares and you're making 50 cents, it's still a lot of money. For people in their everyday lives, it's still a lot of money. But I mean, that 50 cents, or if you can grow that somewhere else in Argentina Lithium, Lithium America, not Lithium America, but Argentina Lithium and Lithium Chile, maybe Vision Lithium, E3 metals, or whatever other stock out there. I don't know. Is this stock a good buy now? Is that stock a good buy now? The potential is there to be able to buy from all these other stocks. I mean, how many other stocks out there could probably be growing 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents? Or what if Argentina Lithium, what if it's the next $3 one, $3.50? It's got the name. The name is perfect. Argentina Lithium. It's in the lithium triangle. I mean, it's great. Just that alone, retail investors, some of them that are not really doing their homework and research, they just jump in because they're like, oh, wow, this is the next big play. And they don't really know what they're holding on to. But the ones that do know what they're holding on to, they're like, well, wait a minute. They have a lot of things in place, a lot of land. I mean, this puppy can really, really go. Let's not forget, you do a DFS, you do a final feasibility, definitive is a final. If you do a pre-feasibility study and then you do a final feasibility, it seems like as soon as we get a DFS, an FFS, okay, definitive, final, same thing. As soon as it seems that we get one of those up, boom, they're coming to be bought out. So in my opinion right now, Argentina Lithium, Lithium Chile, these type of companies, especially these two, all right, but maybe Argentina a little bit more because you have the name, the newest, like the last video with the 4 companies. You have the name, you have the whole 9 yards inside there. Go watch that video in order to get more of the information. But that looks like maybe the average retail investor might just shoot into there because it'd be like, oh, Lithium Chile, I don't really know much about it, but let me tell you, Lithium Chile is just a sleeping monster, all right? And when it's going to get its time, and I think its time is actually slowly happening right now. I definitely wouldn't. I'm invested in both stocks. I wouldn't take a chance. That's for sure. Especially with the Arizaro project, that thing can just shoot. But Argentina Lithium for me is it's a big play within itself, just because of the fact that the name is there, right? So you gotta, the marketing aspect of it, right? I'm trying to think about the marketing aspect of it. Go back into my McGill days and think about, how important is marketing, what people see, reoccurring names. It even says that, well, if someone's never heard your name before, they're not going to really vote you in for president, PM, and all this kind of stuff. If someone sees a person's name all over the place, that rings in their head. Marketing is highly effective and highly important. And we've been talking about Argentina lithium deposits for over a year now. So just the marketing aspect alone, in the name of the company, and Lithium Chile, before 2019, it had the name, and believe me, it will have the name again. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm not touching my investment there whatsoever. So, when I look at Lithium, I'm just going, really? I got E3 metals out there with proprietary technology in direct lithium extraction, which makes them lower capex than lithium brine, and they're actually getting it from lithium brine in Alberta and the whole Alberta thing that I mentioned before. And then you have Vision Lithium, which has 99.9% battery grade already, and massive deposits in spodumene also in Canada, which these two companies alone can just go to production. And then I'm just saying, well, why am I in Lithium? 624, 626. What am I going to do? I'm going to make 25 cents. If no one else comes and puts an extra 30 cents, in order to outbid. Oh, so what? I'll be making 50 cents now? Okay, if I had a few million in there and I was like going, you know what? That extra, is going to make me big money. Sure, fine. I get it. It's a sure thing, right? But I'm talking about if you put in if you have a few million in there, like, you know what I mean? But for even accounts that, 10,000, 20,000, even 50,000, 100,000 even, why would I want to just leave it in there? Not just because your portfolio would be, weighted on other stocks as well with that kind of money. But why would I just want to stick in there alone when I have the potential to just disperse it across all these other companies, take out these massive profits if I would have got in a long time, and then just go boop, 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 and put it all here, and then see these ones grow as well. Because Lithium, sure, keep a share, vote no, make yourself be heard. Great, absolutely. Keep the whole 100% in there when we're going to be missing out on all these other opportunities. No, man, that's my update, and that's my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is definitely what I tell my kids. They'd be like, no. Take your profits. You want your voice to be heard. Keep one share. Vote no because it made you feel better and all this kind of stuff. That's great. But we got to look at the negative side of, let's just say we had over 66.25%, whatever, all vote no. What would that look like to the company? Well, the retail investors, we all banded together. We all made an outcome. We spoke our mind, the whole 9 yards. And, if you look at what Waldo Perez stated in the thing, in the sale of the company, this is a great thing for the investors because, you have a premium, although we don't see it that way. And honestly, I agree. I don't see it that way either because this should have went to production. But in the last video, I explained why. Because I don't believe that CATL is interested in staying at 8% when they have a whole freaking mine waiting for them in millennials. So, and I made a mistake in the last video by saying that NLC had a boot on the ground and NLC had, so maybe you guys understood what I meant. I meant that Cattle has a guy up in management and executive, and Cattle has a guy with the boots on the ground. And that was part of the buy deal for the 8% last year. So the thing is, if there was a vote no across the board, well, that means CATL voted no too. So you got to think, so what's going to happen? If we all voted no, for them to not, take this deal from Xi, would another counter offer come? Would it be there from someone else higher? Well, if there's no counter offer now, what would be the interest of other companies doing to try to buy out this company if they know that the retail investor, is holding, the big end of the stick? it's very hard if the internal management are not really the ones in control. Although, if we all band it together, then naturally, in lots of companies where you have like 97%, that like in Cloud it's like 97% ownership from retail investors, and then naturally, if you look at a lot of these companies out there where you have retail investors that own most of the shares, well, you have a big say if you were banded together as one. But what does that look like internally, right? To other companies, right? You know, you got to look at that too. There's a give and take, where you win something, you might lose something, And then I'm going, so let's say there's no one else that's going to come on board to. I mean, is a shares going to drop? I mean, let's say you stay in at 624, 626. Is a shares going to drop at that point? And now imagine you're stuck in there. It's 626. We all voted no, and then we lose that give and take type thing, and then all of a sudden, boom. Shares go down. Maybe they'll be forced to bring this to production. They'll have to dilute the shares. They're going to be to get this whole thing up and running. So it brings the shares down again. So why wouldn't we take our profits right now? If we were to win and the long term, the short term would be a share drop, all right, which eventually would turn into a long term share increase once the production's up and everything like that. Well, why wouldn't we take our profits right now? And you want your voice to be heard, keep that one share. You're still owning the company, have the paper come in, vote no, and that's it. So however I look at this, I would be telling my kid, listen, take your profit. You want to keep that one share? Keep that one share. Voice your feelings, whatever you want. That you're unhappy with this, and there's so many other companies that have so much more potential on growing. I mean, imagine if Argentina Lithium, all right, get up the definitive feasibility study. They have this much land, this much whatever, and then they get up a final feasibility study, and it just keeps on growing and growing. And then all of a sudden, you have another Asian company that comes in, or whatever, European company, whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter who it is, all right? You have some company around the world that comes in and says, oh, you know what? The final feasibility study includes everything, construction includes everything, the cost of bringing it to production, everything. The lithium quality, this, that, blah, 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 anything you think of, it's there. It's there for them to read. They know what they're getting themselves into in order to get this out. They know how many years of the life of the mine. They know the quality. They know everything, okay, at this point. So this is why they're making bids on the final feasibility study. They're not waiting for the pre-feasibility study. They're waiting for the final feasibility study because they want to know, well, if I'm paying this for the company and I still have to bring it to production, it's going to cost me this. So they're doing risk management. They're calculating. They're like actuarial work. They're doing all of this to make sure that they're getting the best deal possible, but also that the company that started the whole exploration and bringing it up to that point and getting all the permits and all that kind of stuff, they're both getting something for each other's work. And at the same time, if you get into that stock low and now it's selling at 350, 450, 550, 650, well, heck, you've made a hell of a lot of money. And these are the times to get in it. So why would we all just stay at 100% in NLC? And that's exactly what I would tell my kids. And that's why I put up Betweenplays, and that's why I created it. I created it so that we could make decisions that are not based off emotion. We do not love a stock. We do not marry stock. We do not pump. We do not dump. This is not what we're doing. We are doing the best thing possible for our portfolios, the best thing possible for our families, and we are making sure that when we go to bed, we can sleep at night knowing that we have a diversified portfolio that works well for us, that we hedge our bets. Ray Dalio would call it the all-weather type portfolio. Ray Dalio's got a few of those that he has his children in. And, the thing is that I don't have that technique and knowledge that he has, but I have my own. I have my own way of doing it. And NLC right now for me, if it was my kids and stuff like that, I'd be like, no, no, no. Take your profits before you lose all of that, because we don't know what's going to happen. If it's sold at that and it finishes like that, fine. But if the bids come in and all this kind of stuff and nastiness happens or whatever, and the shares start going down, what if everybody starts pulling out at the same time? Doesn't really matter anyways, because that's the stock's price anyway. But the point is, I'd be like, there's so much other growth opportunities. You're wasting tons of advantages everywhere else. Like I would just tell them to that whole 650. You're getting out at 625, 626, 624, 622. Who the hell cares? You're like right there. I tell them that you don't need that extra 30 cents. That's ridiculous when you could be making $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 somewhere else on 10,000 shares or 15,000 shares or 20,000 shares. Because if you were in NLC when I had mentioned it over here at like 65, 68 cents, and you picked up a ton load of shares and you held on to it until now, you're going to have so much money in your pockets that it's going to be easy for you to buy 10,000 shares in Argentina Lithium. Easy for you to buy 10,000 shares in Argentina Lithium, Lithium Chile, in Vision Lithium. It's going to be easy because that's how much money you probably made just off of NLC taken out at this point. And any one of those goes to production or any one of those get bought out at the final feasibility study, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to voice your opinion, you keep that one share, vote no. But as I tell my kids, get the rest out, take your profits, and invest them in, like I was saying, for me, I'd have them invest in Argentina Lithium, Lithium Chile, Vision Lithium, and E3 Metals. And the reason why I'm saying those three is because I'm talking about lithium plays on lithium plays. And you know what? Go and enjoy a nice restaurant with the family. Take your girlfriend out, or girlfriends, take your boyfriends out. Buy something nice for your wife or for your kids. You don't have to all take it and put it there. Pay off a little bit of your debts. Put some in your pocket. It's for the 25 cents difference, it's not worth it. And you know what? Let's say the stock does shoot down. People get out, whatever. No, well, that just gives us an opportunity to go back in. So anyone that's following, between plays here, you're giving yourself opportunities by actually getting out in a sense. And let's say somebody else does come in and buys it out for $1 more. Keep your eyes on Neolithium because it's not done yet, right? So you got to keep your eye on there. I know I'm keeping my eye on there. And I'm just waiting to see, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, somebody bought out for $2 more? Never going to happen. But, oh, somebody else bought it for $2 more? Well, hell, I'm throwing in a ton of money inside there because now I know everybody's going to be throwing in a ton of money there, including companies with millions and millions of dollars. That's why on the Monday of Canada's Thanksgiving, it shot up in the morning like this because, first of all, you had to everyone that tried to short the company had to buy back and stuff. Well, the shorters are done in there now because you can't short it now, but people were before the buyout on the Friday. So they had to buy back, money flew in, stock shot up, and then it just teeter-tottered that way. Because on the Monday of Thanksgiving, I could have injected another 10, 20, 30,000 inside there, and I would have made that extra $1. And that would have been 100% worth it. And it's the same thing now. Right now, at this, what am I going to do? I'm just going to sit there and go, well, maybe somebody else will buy it out. I'm not too sure. We'll just wait. We'll just wait until Argentina Lithium gets to like, $4 before I invest there, or the spike gets to like $5 or $2, or Lithium Chile goes up to also $3. So instead of putting in, at 40 cents, putting in $4,000 to get 10,000 shares, if it's at $4, well, I'll have to put in $40,000 to get 10,000 shares. You understand? There's no logic in the wait. So if I, take 99% out and then I leave that 1 for the vote no, well, heck, if someone else comes in and buys out Neolithium for $2 more, pay attention to the news, inject a ton of money in, it shoots up more, take it back out, and then you have more money to put into the other stocks. Anyways, I wanted to make a video on that because I had a lot of time to think about this, and I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong. You keep 1, 2 shares if you want, whatever. Vote no, but I wouldn't listen, this is for me. Like I said, like I'll be talking to my kids. Remember, not a financial advisor, the whole 9 yards. if you need any help, seek help from a financial advisor, professional advisor. But the thing is that there's no way that I would just sit in there, especially if the vote came out, they're not selling the company. I would not do it because I don't think that cattle wants to stay in there. They have their own mind they have to think about, all right, which is millennials. They got to bring that to full production. So they're going to be concentrated there. If you don't think that they're going to be concentrated there, they actually put a person in the executives, in the management position, and cattle put another person boots on the ground because they did not want this to fail or they didn't want any mistakes. So for them, it was highly important. So to think that they're not going to put in full resources to millennial is just, it's ignorance. That's all it is. Because, or else, that's why they put people there. They're like, we're taking 8%. 8%? But with 8%, we want one person in management, one person, imagine that. Not even 50%, 52%. 8%, but we're going to have one person there, one person there. That's how important their money is to them. And that's how important the investment, so money, investment, the project, the whole 9 yards is to them. So that's why I don't see cattle wanting to stay. Okay, I don't know why that's up there, but that's why I don't see CATL wanting to stay with Lithium, and that's why Zijin comes in and buys it out. So a unanimous vote for yes on the sale from all the insiders and stuff. When other companies and stuff, because I don't remember the name of the company, came in and bought out more. I don't know if it was BlackRock or whatever, but they bought out because I know BlackRock's the number one investor inside the company. But the thing is that someone else went in, and what happened is that Lithium, cattle was allowed to increase the amount in order to keep their 8%. Did they not do it? Yes, they did. They did it. They went and increased it to retain their 8%. Why aren't they doing it now that Zijin is inside there buying it out? Because it's done for them. They have millennials. They don't care anymore. They got to concentrate somewhere else. So that's why for me, it's like, I think if we all vote no, I see it as a negative when it comes to share price in the short term. It'll drop. So do I want to be inside a sinking ship? Hell no. Lifeboat. So look, I can keep 1%. I could keep one share in Lithium and still have a right to vote, and I'll take out 99 of the shares, in a sense. So I'll take out 99.999%, and I'll use those profits, use it somewhere else. Blah 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 blah. And then again, if you realize how it could impact the company negatively in the short term, you wouldn't want to be in the short term anyways. You'd be waiting and waiting for that stock to depress, hit a support, and for full correction, and then you'd be looking for it to go back up. Now you have to think about all the big investors in there, BlackRock and all these kind of companies. Would they be happy with a company where the retail investors have so much power? I don't know. I don't think that they would. I don't. It doesn't look good. So you can take. Listen, no one's judging. This is a stock market, and no one judges here. You could take out 100%. Market, buy out, get the hell out, and then go into these other companies that have massive potential, like Argentina Lithium, Lithium Chile, Vision Lithium, and E3 Metals. Because I'm just referring to the companies that I mentioned in the other one, the other video that I released earlier. Or there's a lot of other companies out there that are extremely interesting as well. It's all about researching, right? So with all that, man, guys, sucks what happened with Lithium. I really thought with cattle there was going all the way. That would have been a beaut, but it didn't, and that's just it. So you know what? Keeping one share to vote no is not a bad thing. All the rest, get out. I'm putting them everywhere else, and that's it. That's all. I was already in the other companies, but you know what? There's always room for more, right? Okay, guys. So always remember, research, prepare, plan, execute. Stay strong. I'm
Hello
out.
to everyone out there. Just taking 2 seconds of your time and asking you to hit the subscribe and the like button. I'd like to also direct you to betweenplays.com, www.betweenplays.com, where we put up many different articles. We have 3 different writers at the moment, and we're trying to up the authors. And go to our Twitter account for like really quick information at betweenplays1, and we'll be able to get people to pre-market information and whatever comes along that is important to macroeconomics, microeconomics. As we say here, our motto: research, prepare, plan, execute. Always do your due diligence, and stay strong, everybody. Stay strong.